Hey guys, Mike for Sim Racing 604. Welcome back to Assetto Corsa, and say hello for the first time to the Arden V24. This one is by Virtual Racing Cars, and it is notably based on the Alpine A424 and competing in the top level of endurance racing. The car is powered by a turbo V6 engine and of course has hybrid system on board to help with the BOP, making sure things stay competitive. And this is the third car from Virtual Racing Cars in this class. They have previously brought us the Peugeot and the Ferrari. Those two cars, both epic in their own right. All three are paid mods, including this Alpine. I'm going to test it at Interlagos against a field of cars from not only VRC, but also other mod creators for AC, and we'll see how we get on. So let's go ahead and get on track with this incredible machine. All right, so just a quick look in the pits here with this Arden before we get it on track here at Interlagos. Go ahead and load my test setup. Gears, 2 sets. The first set is theoretically limited to 327 kilometers per hour. Gear set 2, 350, so think Le Mans or not Le Mans. Tires, there are cold softs, hot softs, medium, and wet tires. Fuel, 80 liter max, which is what I have it on now. I'm going to actually turn that down a bit. Electronics, 7 engine brake settings. Rear wing, you'll hopefully see it there. A little visual change as well as the performance change, so that's cool. I think VRC might have been one of the first ones to have visual wing adjustments like that, but I'm not sure. But either way, this Arden has it. Brakes, somewhat interesting here. We're used to brake bias, of course, but migration, not so much. You can mouse over and learn a bit more about what the migration does, migration settings do, rather. And then we have front and rear brake ducting adjustments. Can we see that? Where am I looking? No, I can't see it. It's probably there. I'm sure there is some visual adjustment, but either way, brake ducting does matter. Differential, we're used to preload, of course, preset power, preset 1 power, preset 2 power, and then a coast and coast. So you can have your presets for your differentials. Driving targets, I'm going to adjust that because I think I'm going to be slower than I'd hoped. So you can set a target lap time here. And then I believe this is increments. So, and then set the number of target laps, but you don't have to do any of this, just if you want sort of a, basically a virtual pace car to make sure you're roughly on target. That's what you can use. Force feedback linearity, we do see this in other cars. Steering ratio, quite unique. Very cool that this Arden has it. We get into power unit. This is a lot of your settings. How all out do you want your car to be, or do you want it set it up for a longer run? And importantly, there's a pedal map here. So if you find the car a bit too on edge, you can adjust the pedal map and hopefully improve things. Traction control, target slip, and cutoff. We're used to those. Again, that's basically TZ1, TC2. But then we have lateral and longitudinal adjustments as well. So depending on where you're getting the slip, you can make adjustments there and hopefully counteract that with traction control. BOP adjustments here. You can adjust it up and down if you find the car is too fast relative to the field. Suspension, I don't think there's a lot here exciting. This is certainly advanced, but not unique to this Arden. What do we have here? Heaves, and then main suspension. The biggest note here is the weight distribution. Right now it's set neutral, but you can bias it toward the front or rear, which I find is cool. All right, so that's pretty much a rundown. And by the way, you can make a lot of these adjustments in the car by using the VRC app, or you can set it up in the pit before you start your session. So very cool. All right, so as is common, we go ignition on, hold the starter button, and then we have life in this Arden. Whoops. And then we stall it as usual. And then we are rolling here at Interlagos. And one of the first things you notice, especially if you have a good direct drive wheel, I have the Moza R16, which I think the world of, and you can feel a lot of chatter in the tires. And the reason that is because there is a ton of suspension information being transferred through the wheel. This car has some of the most advanced suspension physics of any mod ever made for Assetto Corsa. So you can expect good things on that front. I can't remember what the acronym is. Is it Cosmic or something like that? But either way, VRC has put a ton of work into the suspension physics. So not only does it affect the performance of the car on track, but also what you will feel through your wheel. Again, I suspect you will need a good force feedback wheel, a direct drive wheel, in order to feel that. But yeah, whoa, car not anywhere near up to temperature yet. So we'll keep things rolling here and try and get some proper stable heat into these tires before we really start pushing. Again, target set at 84.5 seconds, 1 minute 24.5 is the goal here at Interlagos with this Arden. Got 50 liters of fuel, or had 50 liters of fuel. So kind of a lot. So certainly not going to be on a pole pace, but we'll see what happens. Not sure if you heard it there, but a big lock into turn 1. The car is definitely susceptible, and I had to lift there. Wow. The car definitely susceptible to brake locking. So do take some time, adjust those complicated brake settings if you're having trouble with that. Me, I can just kind of live with it. I can just brake earlier. These hypercars do tend to have longer braking zones than like if you're used to the outgoing LMP1 cars or something like that. You're going to be probably surprised. The hypercars tend to not brake as well, at least in my experience. Could be that my driving is just declining.
Subscribe to Sim Racing 604, my favorite YouTube channel.
And we have a field of cars, as you probably noticed out here. I'm running the RSS GT3 cars, the newer generation cars that is, as well as the VRC hypercars, the RSS hypercars, and the URD hypercar singular. Why am I not running the Cadillac? I totally forgot about the Cadillac. I put the Toyota in. And if you're thinking, well, why not the Glickenhaus? Well, yeah, try to keep it somewhat modern, although the liveries don't line up with modern WEC. I've just chosen random liveries that I like for these cars at the moment. Some are WEC, some not. All right, so what are my thoughts on this Arden, aka the Alpine A424? Very, very good. Very, very good. I think forever my standard with hypercars in Assetto Corsa, and when I say hypercars, of course, I mean Le Mans hypercars, hypercar class race cars. Yeah, I think my standard of reference forever will be the Peugeot, aka the Peugeot 9X8. I mean, that car just blows my mind in how advanced it is. And when it first came out, it just reset and you know, made me think, what is really possible with Assetto Corsa modding? Like, these guys have just absolutely crushed it. And it continues to be that way. I still believe that is in my top 3 all-time, Assetto Corsa mods. And I wouldn't necessarily say I'm instantly in love with the Alpine. I've had quite a bit of time. I ran this more than I run most mods before I actually hit the record button. And I've done a ton of laps here at Interlagos. You wouldn't know it by how I'm driving, but I have done a lot of laps here at Interlagos and kind of gotten used to the car. I think it's fantastic, but again, I don't think it's going to sort of reset my view on Assetto Corsa modding and enter my top 3. It's quite stable for the most part. Like, you can feel the wheels slipping from time to time, and generally you're able to recover the car. That Toyota just take a swipe at me. So I think if you find, especially the 499P from VRC, I find that car to be just a bit too on edge for my complete enjoyment. So if you're like that and you're looking for something a little more stable, definitely this Alpine is a step in that direction. It's not boring to drive, but I just find the Peugeot just has so much life. I find it's just so alive underneath you. That's really what I look for, and it's such a vague thing, and I hate doing mod reviews where I talk about cars feeling alive, because it's like, well, what does that even mean? And it's so subjective, but at the same time, you kind of know it when you feel it. Like, I would say the Mercer V8 from Race Sim Studio is one of the most alive cars ever to be brought to Assetto Corsa. Everything just feels spongy and mechanical, and it doesn't feel so, of course it is, but it doesn't feel so digital and ones and zeros. It feels like there's something actually happening underneath you with, you know, the tires and the suspension compression and things like that. And I really get a lot of that with the Peugeot, not so much with the 499P. It's just it's tough to drive. And and again, this Alpine, certainly in the range of, but I would say in sort of my rankings of the VRC hypercars, and this is going to sound bad, but I would say this is at the bottom of the three. I think it's fantastic, and again, I've spent quite a bit of time with it, kind of getting used to the feel, and I don't think poorly of it by any means, but I just think the Peugeot is so good to drive, and the 499P, such an iconic WEC car. The 50 and 51, you have images in your mind of those two cars at Le Mans, and it's such an iconic car with that iconic, whistle and when you lift throttle. And so there's a lot going on there. The Alpine to me is less iconic. It's a beautiful car with beautiful styling, but it doesn't have that gravitas, if that's the right word, of the Ferrari, nor does it have the drivability of the Peugeot. So I think it's going to fall kind of at the bottom of the list, but keep in mind that's only the bottom of three excellent cars. So I would still choose this over 99% of everything I drive in, well, not 99%, but 95% of everything I drive in Assetto Corsa. I think it's fantastic. So hopefully that's contradictory enough for you to not make an informed buying decision. But if I had to, feet to the fire, make a decision about, is this a car worth buying for Assetto Corsa? Yes, of course, 100%. I would not have any reservations about recommending this car or the Forenzo or the Peugeot to you to buy, and I would probably buy it in reverse order. I would get the Peugeot, get the Ferrari, then get the Alpine. These are just outstanding cars. Pair them with the RSS offerings, pair them with the URD offerings. We're getting dangerously close to a full field of WEC cars in the best way possible. So we've got the Caddy as well. So not too many more cars to bring to Assetto Corsa before we have the full field. A couple more on the GT3 front, of course. Now that GTE is out. Alright, so how are we doing on lap time here in this Alpine? That last was I missed it. This is not going to help. Look out there, Iron Lakes. Is Assetto Corsa AI now programmed to just take swipes at you if you overtake it? That's not cool. The sounds of this car are really nice too. Not some thunderous V8 or something, turbo V6, but it's just the most subtle turbo whistle. I like it. Come on. What do we have here? That is the Porsche. Come on, let's go, boys. Alright, so need some open road here to set a good lap time. It looks like we have some. There is a GT3 that I will catch on this lap, but just the same, I should be able to get a good, probably half lap. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. I didn't see that number 4 there. I want to see if I can get below that 124.5. Come on. Come on, Peugeot, let me through, please. Whoa, full lock there. I thought I could make it to the corner. Oh, look at that. What a sight. Beautiful. Nice. Alright, so lost pace there, but just the same, we're not too bad. Managed to get the overtakes done without too much trouble. So yeah, I don't want it to sound like I don't like the car. I really do. It's just, to me, the Peugeot is on such a high level that I can't put it there. And again, with the 499, there's just so much automotive panache, maybe, is the right word, about that car. 124.9, so getting there. Getting closer and closer to that 24.5. 296 Ferrari from Chem Fluby. This is a free GT3, actually. Highly recommend. Chem Fluby makes some fantastic mods. Highly recommend that Ferrari. Looks like we're coming up on the second Peugeot, if you will. Big bump there, hit the inside curb. Come on, Mikey. Another nice view there. Big V10 of that Audi screaming as I went by. Oh, there we go. Now we got track to work with. Alright, let's see if we can push here without making too many mistakes. See if we can get that 124.5. This one's going to be close. I think it's going to be just over. Nope, under. See if we can get into the 123s then. We'll adjust our goal in kind. And yeah, you can definitely feel that suspension play at work. Feels tremendous. And before I forget, track skin is by Pyre. I can't remember who made this original Interlagos. This is the WC 2024 skin. It is a paid service, paid mod on Patreon to get these track skins. So nobody in front of us, nobody to blame for a bad lap time here but ourselves. Ooh. There we go. Decent launch here. Might even get the slightest bit of a toe from this Lambo. Yes, Lambo. There we go, 123.6. Whoa, and then I slid through the corner. Full lock there on the brakes. So yeah, this car is fantastic. We're halfway through here. We've done 10 laps. And pure pleasure to drive this Alpine Arden. Oh, we're going to run out of fuel. My bad. I'm not going to get anywhere near 20 laps. But I think I've hopefully proven my point. I love the car. I think it's phenomenal. And by the way, there was an update pushed with this car to both the Ferrari and the Peugeot. So I will try and check those out in a separate video. See if my beloved Peugeot has seen any significant improvements or if it's more of the same awesomeness. So yeah, car's available now. Be sure to check it out. Alright, do we have room? No, we don't have room, sadly. It's going to go for one more fast lap. I was still under target there. 1:24.32. Oh, come on, Lambo. Don't ruin this for me. And tires are up to temp, and we can take that last left-hander there. Is that turn 2? Turn 3? Turn 3, I guess. Flat now. I couldn't at the start of the session, so nice to see the grip improving over time, as it would in real life in these conditions. Big bump there. Lots of cool curb detail. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to go well. Came in at a funny line. And left on a funny line. Oh. Surprised I didn't void my lap there. It's actually on a good pace, but sadly threw it away in one of the last corners. And now we got heavy traffic, so you forget about fast laps. Wow. Heavy damage to the Arden just before we put it away. Giving my mechanics a long night in the paddock. Can't end on that. We'll go this lap plus one more. Beautiful scenes here in Brazil. Round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. He's still there. Try and cut the inside line here. Maybe we can get in front. Oh, contact, contact, contact. Ferrari just refused to give up the position there. Fitting end to a horrendous lap. Let's see if we can. Nope. I was going to say, let's see if we can get a clean lap, but it's a bad start. I'm going to be down time crossing the start-finish line because I did not get a good launch out of that corner. But a reasonable amount of road in front of us with which to work. So let's see if we can do anything as far as a decent lap time. Low on fuel. A lot of this success on this lap is going to come down to how fast I can get by these guys. Got a Toyota and a BMW. I have no idea how fast this is going to be. Might be good. Alright, into the 23s. That's okay. Considering we ran into traffic, that's to be expected. Come on, guys. Alright. I think that's going to do it. We will make this an in-lap. But huge, huge fun in this Arden. strong recommendation. I mean, VRC, RSS, these guys just don't miss. But today belongs to VRC, another brilliant mod. Again, don't think by my ranking it below the other two cars that I think poorly of this. I honestly have almost zero negative notes about this car. Like, I'm scrambling, racking my brain, trying to think of something to critique it with. I don't have much. Nothing of significance. I would say VRC, possibly with those, advanced pit settings, is maybe sort of missing the point. We just want cars that are fun to drive, not necessarily the ability to tune brake migration, but it is their mod. They can do what they want with it, and as long as they keep producing great works like this, pardon me, who am I to complain? Yeah, super fun car. Highly recommended. Get out there, support VRC, and hopefully we can keep them in business, and maybe we'll get something for AC Evo of this quality. All right, thanks so much for watching. We're back into the pits, and I will see you next time.